Are you ready for it? We're getting into the update on how my No Buy 2025 challenge is going. We're going to cover the month of January, and we're going to talk about the things that I did buy, the things that I was able to resist, and the things that I've learned so far doing this challenge. If you are new here, my name is Dakota Rebel. This is Rebel with a Plan. And at the beginning of the year, I had kind of an epiphany in regards to the amount of stuff that I own and realized that I needed to put myself on like a financial traffic system to curb some spending issues that I have and to stop accumulating more things. I will link both of those videos down below for you if you want to check out how my journey began. But for now, we're going to dive into the update. Just a quick refresher, my green light items are things that I don't need to think about. I can just go ahead and spend willy-nilly. This is going to be things like paying my bills and buying groceries and legitimate business expenses. My yellow light items are things that I really need to think about. Is this a want or is this a need? And that's going to be things like sports cards to flip on eBay as part of my multipreneur jobs that I have. Also shipping supplies, running gear. Again, I go through all of these things in the main video from the beginning of the year. And then my red light things that I will not be purchasing. These are things like more stationary items or comfort items like mugs, blankets, lotions, things like that. And also the big one, no new hobbies in 2025. So now that that's out of the way, let's see how I did. In the green light category, I did have some business expenses. I had to buy a new keyboard. I had to buy a C-clamp for my camera. I needed to purchase ink cartridges for my printer. And I ended up having to buy editing software because the software that I was using was banned in the United States. And that's all I have to say about that. In the yellow light category, I did purchase some sports card singles at a trading card show, and I had to buy some padded envelopes to ship said cards. As for the red light categories, I am proud to say, self high five, I bought nothing in the red light category this month. And granted, it is the first month, and keeping a resolution is easy at the beginning because you're all fired up about it. There were some temptations that we're going to talk about, but I did not give in. I resisted, and I am very proud of myself. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the things that I resisted. Number one, YouTube-specific planner stickers. This was a close call, actually, because I was on Etsy. I was at my favorite sticker shop, Sparkle and Shine Designs. Check her out if you are not on a no-buy because her shop is amazing and she is just a beautiful human being. But I needed some YouTube-specific stickers for my planners and my calendars and things. But instead of buying them, I went to Canva and I designed them myself. I am a sticker designer, so this was just a logical course of action. And is it ideal? No, because I don't have like a Cricut or a sticker cutter. So I have to hand cut and peel teeny tiny little backings off of teeny tiny 1/4 inch YouTube stickers. But it saved me from spending money, so it's a win. The second thing I resisted is boots for my dog. I did talk about this in a previous video, and I'm sorry, I don't remember which one, but I'm sure that that was hilarious because I'm super funny and also very humble. Short story, my husband doesn't want me to get boots for the dog. I wanted to get boots for the dog because we live in Michigan and it's very cold. My husband won out when he pointed out that the dog's gonna hate the boots, so it would just be a waste of money. While I could have technically filed that under gifts, which is also in my green light category, I did not buy boots for Hawk, and everybody's fine. The third thing I resisted was headphones. Now, this one could have been considered a legitimate business expense because as I'm editing my videos, I do believe it would be easier if I had like the big over-the-ear headphones when I'm dealing with my sound, but I've made it this far without them, and at this point, it still feels like more of a want than a need. So there may come a time when I will purchase these, and if it gets to that point, then I believe it will be a legitimate need. Right now, it's just a want, so no headphones for me. This last one is going to seem so silly to people, but I swear to you, it was the most difficult thing that I resisted this month. We went to 2 different record stores this month, which are huge trigger places for me because I want everything. Music is just part of my soul and it is such an important part of my life. And it's very difficult for me to walk away from things in record stores. In the first record store we went to, they had an Iron Maiden pencil case and it was beautiful and it was awesome. And Lord knows I have enough pens that I could never have enough pencil cases. But that one was a little easier. I showed it to my husband and I said, I would like this for my birthday. And I hung it back on the hook and we left and everything was great. The second shop almost got me though. We were on our way out when I saw it. My heart flipped in my chest and my stomach fluttered and my hand shot out faster than Doc Holliday's ever did. Because sitting on a shelf, totally innocuous in the back of the store, was an Iron Maiden Eddie Funko Pop in his Pharaoh outfit. I held that thing in my hand and for just a second, I thought, who's gonna know? People lie on the internet all the time. They create entire fake lives in entire fake homes. Who would know if I spent $15 of my own money on this thing that I covet so much? Well, I would know. And that is not who I am. And I don't ever want to be that person. So with literally shaking hands, I put it back on the shelf and I walked away. Do I regret it? Honestly, kind of. I collect Iron Maiden and I collect Funko Pops and I've actually been on the hunt for this specific one for a very long time. But I made a promise. I made a promise to myself and I made a promise to you. I knew that I could never actually lie to you guys. And I had to ask myself, do I really want to sit here and admit that I had my first oopsie in the very first couple weeks of the month over a $15 toy? And let's face it, my husband's probably going to get that for me for my birthday too. So yeah, I resisted. I walked away. I did not purchase it. And I feel good about that now. But in the moment, FOMO physically manifested in my body. It was kind of disgusting. In fact, it kind of felt like an addiction response. And let me tell you what, that snapped me out of my desire for this thing real quick, which conveniently leads me into what I learned this month. My biggest realization is that this journey is not about money. It's not about spreadsheets. It's not even about willpower. It's about the way I talk to myself. It cannot be about telling myself I can't have this, because that kind of feeling is restrictive and negative, like a parent telling a kid because I said so. And when you have ADHD, telling yourself no in that sense just makes you want to rebel against your own rules. So instead, I have to reframe this as a conscious choice. I don't need this right now because I already have so much stuff to appreciate. It's about gratitude, and not like a Pinterest quote in a flippy font saying, just be grateful today, but in a genuine appreciation for the things that I've surrounded myself with. It's taking a moment to say, I love the Funko Pops that I already have, and I can look at those and appreciate those without having to add a new one into the mix. Another important lesson about the way that I talk to myself is that this cannot be a punishment for past financial decisions. It's easy to think that doing this challenge is a way to atone for mistakes you've made. But this isn't about making myself suffer for stupid shit I bought in the past. It's about respecting and providing myself in the future. When I choose not to spend impulsively, I'm telling my future self, I see you, I love you, and I will be you. I'm creating space for financial freedom and space in general in my life. It really is self-care in its most practical form. And here's the kicker. It's not just a challenge for the sake of a challenge. It's not some personal version of Survivor to see how long I can make it before I crack. It's a mindset shift. It's learning to pause before I buy, to sit with that want and ask myself why I even feel it. Is it boredom? Is it FOMO? Is it just the dopamine hit of buying something new and shiny? Once I actually dig into those feelings, I can make better decisions for myself. I've realized that so much of what I've purchased in the past was never a need. It was just a distraction or a way to fill a void about something else. Ultimately, I learned it's not about the money. It's about how I show up for myself. So, January was a win. I didn't purchase things on my red light list. I've learned some new things about what this challenge is going to bring me, both good and bad, because it's going to bring up some feelings, and it's gonna bring up some FOMO. But I've also proved to myself that I'm strong enough to resist that. And as we go forward, it might get harder, but I've already done hard things. So I know I can keep doing this. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to smash all the YouTube buttons down below and leave me a comment letting me know how your January is going, whether you're doing a no-buy or not. If you are doing a no-buy, can you share something that you resisted with me? And if you're not, let me live vicariously through you and tell me the last planner thing you bought. I promise I won't go put one in a cart somewhere. I love you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great day. Bye.